Queen 10 looks like a good spot to squeeze. Yeah. Well, I could have squeezed. Squeezing's certainly reasonable. Calling's okay. I kind of like squeezing better. I run kind of good again, and I flop top 2. It looks like I thought about leading for a moment, and then I decided to check. I think checking is a better play here. Reason being that if I lead, I don't really expect either of them to like bluff raise me. So the times that I do get raised, it's from hands that have a lot of equity against me, probably. Stuff like 8, 9 of spades, king, jack of spades, ace, king of spades, ace, jack of spades. So I would rather, I feel like it's better if I check and then let them bet those hands and then have me raise them. That way I at least get one bet from those hands rather than leading and giving those hands the opportunity to fold. Or if they happen to have a queen, I don't think that my lead's going to get raised too frequently unless they specifically have ace queen, and then even then not necessarily all the time. But if they do have those hands, they're definitely betting and then definitely calling a check raise. So clearly, given all that, check raising is much better than leading in this spot. In the bottom right, well, I'll just finish it. In the top left, they checked through, so none of them have spades. But I think that there's a high likelihood of the turn checking through as well, since I kind of have the board locked up, and I just want to protect my hand from them having stuff like pocket sevens with a 7 of spades, and then a spade rolling off on the river and then losing the pot. So I'm just going to bet there, and I think they both fold. In the bottom right, I called an open from a player with only $9 or so with pocket deuces. I think that this is probably very questionable and close. I think that folding might have been better, though. It might have been a min raise. I'm not actually. No, it wasn't a min raise. It was 1.5x. Yeah, it was probably a fold, but it's not a big deal. It probably should fold there. 10-7 on the bottom left. Gonna bet the flop for value. Turns, great card. That's third best behind a 10 or a 7. Think I have the best hand a lot, so I'm gonna continue betting for value. Because I don't really think that he's calling with like queen 7 or king 7. Potentially he could have ace 7. So I think way more frequently he's got stuff like, if he has a 7, it's a worse one than mine, like 7-8 or 6-7. So that was why I thought that I should bet the turn for value. And now the river is another 7, and pretty sure he checks to me. And now, I don't always think okay, so if he has a 7, now we're chopping. But he can potentially also have pocket 8s and pocket 9s. And on the river, I want to bet to get value from those hands. So I'm going to bet again here. Yeah, I like somewhere around half pot, since it's gonna be real hard for him to call a bigger bet with worse, and also he can potentially have a jack. Just because there's 2 of them up there, it doesn't mean that he can't have one. I'm just thinking that more frequently he has those middling hands, and then also he just doesn't get to see my hand at showdown, which I'm happy with. If they can't see my hands, that's better for me.